It is a mystery haunting one East Tennessee family and community for decades. More than 30 years ago, Reba Catlett disappeared and was never heard from again.
But investigators and her surviving siblings have newfound hope that this Appalachian Unsolved case could finally be cracked. Here's 10 News anchor Brittany Bailey.
It was good growing up with a lot of love.
Love was never in short supply for these 8 siblings who grew up in the Jones Cove area of Sevier County. All these years later, some are no longer with us, but the first one to go was Reba.
And he called me and told me she's missing. And I said, well, we'll find her. And I don't know if anybody on earth knows where she's at. It'd be me.
It was June 16, 1992. Reba Catlett's husband, Daryl, called Mary Llewellyn with the news. Her sister Reba's car had been found in a store parking lot with no sign of Reba. Strangely, once police got involved, Mary says she was asked to pick up her sister's car to drive it home.
So when I get in it, I have to push the seat up about 12 inches to touch the pedal.
And what did that tell you?
She wasn't the last one that drove it. It become obvious something bad had happened.
Well, being born and raised there wasn't much crime there, and so when something like this happened, it was big news. And I remember hearing my parents talk about it and hearing family friends discussing it, you know, what happened to Reba Catlett.
It's a question TBI Special Agent Reba Catlett is determined to answer. She has a stack of files and plenty of work under her belt on this case, but to this day, Reba Catlett has never been found.
Do you believe she might still be alive?
There's no evidence of that. We have absolutely no evidence. There's been several people that have looked in to see, you know, her money was still in her account, all of her personal belongings were still at the house. So there's no evidence that she just simply walked away. We don't have any reason to believe that, more than we would that she was killed.
But do you believe she probably was killed?
I think she probably was killed.
Reba's family members feel the same, and they place the blame squarely on the shoulders of Reba's husband, Daryl, who died many years after his wife's disappearance in 2007. Reba's siblings say he was abusive to their sister and that she left him more than once during the marriage.
We just want to know what happened to her. Of course, he's gone, and I think he's the one that done it. And but it would just give us some closure to what did happen to her.
After Reba disappeared, investigators processed her car, interviewed several people, and even searched Douglas Lake the following year, all coming up empty. All the while, the family was still focused on Daryl, and just 4 months after his wife disappeared, he filed for divorce.
Is that something that raised red flags?
Well, that's something that was interesting, to say the least, at that time.
Years later, in 2000, the couple's daughter, Reba Catlett, had Reba declared dead through the court system, but no body has ever been found.
There were several theories that she was possibly buried on their property, unfortunately they were not allowed to go on some of the property where she was said to be buried. So I know that there were other ways that they used to maybe fly over the property and look to see if anything looked disturbed, and nothing was found.
After decades of wondering, Reba's siblings have accepted that she's likely gone. They even came together to buy a headstone for her that marks an empty grave. But what they can't accept is heading to their own graves without justice or closure.
I tried my best to solve it. There was no way. And so I said, Lord, I'm taking it to you and I'm laying it down because I cannot do anymore. I hope that somebody out there will see this and can have some compassion of what we've been through and still going through it. And we just like to put some closure to it.
We did reach out to Reba Catlett's daughter, Deborah. She initially agreed to talk to us, but later stopped returning our calls and text messages. Also, the siblings did come together to offer a reward way back when, but eventually redistributed the money when it was clear it wasn't helping.
Brittany Bailey on the story. If you have any information, investigators do want to hear from you. You can call them at 1-800-TBI-FIND.
And for much more on this case, including what we discovered in court records and family obituaries, you can look for this story on our website, WBIR.com.